Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Inside Airport Lost and Found. This is the National Geographic special. It is from 2022, which almost brand new. It's 44 minutes long, and it is exactly what the title says it is. It gives you a little peek behind the scenes at various airports and TSA offices around the country, from Seattle to Pittsburgh and everywhere in between. And you get to see some of the staff that basically their job is to get your luggage back to you. And it's not only that, but sometimes they have to do a little bit of investigating. They have to do a lot of research. So yeah, it means they have to go through your luggage sometimes when it gets misrouted. I mean, I've had situations, you probably had situations where your luggage has gone missing from one place to the next, and luckily for me, a lot of the times it's just delayed. Maybe it was on a different flight, or it went the wrong direction somehow, and it ends up getting delivered to my house, or the place I was ending, and it's going to end up being at like a hotel or something. So that's nice, and usually it's done within the day or so, but in some cases, stuff just doesn't show up. And some stuff probably shouldn't be traveling in luggage anyway, such as fish, or an entire meal, basically, fish, rice, all sorts of plants, and basically all the ingredients you'd need to make sushi when you landed. No, that's not a thing that you're allowed to do to take on a plane. There's some stuff that's perishable, obviously, and so yeah, they pretty much have to chuck that immediately upon finding it. Other times they have, it's kids' toys or a laptop or whatever. Some stuff gets left behind in the airport itself. You're ready to just jump on that plane when they call your row or whatever, your number or group or whatever, and maybe you just left the bag next to you. Your roll on, and you just have your backpack or something, and it wasn't on a specific flight, so they don't know. There's no tag on it. There's no way to know where it goes. And maybe you didn't put all the information inside the bag either. That might make it easier for them to contact you. Well, it might be a good time to do that. So, because I mean, you get to see a lot of the people who are pretty much dedicated to their task. I know we give the TSA a lot of crap because ever since 9/11, and their job has gotten, created, let's just say. Their job got created and only has gotten more complex, and sometimes we see it as needlessly obnoxious. Taking off our shoes, going through all the bags, and just all this stuff. I mean, it's hard to imagine a time for those of us who are younger than me. There was a time that you didn't have to. You just went through a scanner and just made sure there was no guns and knives on you. And even then, half the time, it seems like they didn't care. But, you still brought in your cigarettes and your whatever other little knickknacks you wanted to that could be used as weapons. You could bring those onto a plane all the time back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. But yeah, terrorism changed all that, and now we have to take off our shoes. Winning the war. Because one guy, one time put in his shoe, and I don't know if there's going to be like a trigger on YouTube for any of the words I say. I don't want to trigger anything, so yeah, maybe the word trigger triggers things. That'd not be good. So yeah, now we all have to take our shoes off because one guy did a thing with his shoes. Yeah, one guy. I go down another path with all of that right now, but the thing is, this shows the light side, the bright side of all this. It shows, right here, just as a sample of all the stuff that people leave behind or gets misrouted, and it's meant to be, like I said, lighthearted and meant to show some of the wacky, weird stuff that comes through TSA and what gets left behind or gets taken because it shouldn't be on a plane. But this part of the story is trying to reunite these objects with their owners. A guy lost his box of harmonicas. Well, he got reunited. Oh, there's a bunch of old war memorial things and a picture of a baby. How can they get back to a guy whose name is not anywhere near this? And the guy, anytime they look up at the person, they're either too young or they're dead. What can they do? So there's all that research, but there's also the stories of what happens to the luggage that never gets reunited, the objects that never they can't find an owner for. Your entire bag, and you got half dozen pairs of underwear in there for the week. What do they do with your underwear? Well, they throw that away. Oh, they recycle it. They don't put it up for auction. Whereas everything else, they might get put up for auction. Like your laptop, your erased, of course, cell phones, shoes, nice high heels, or even cars from football players who just happen to abandon their cars in a parking garage at the airport. Yeah. Somebody bought a Mini Cooper. I think it was sold for like $14,000 at one of these auctions in Pittsburgh. That happens every year. People come out and just keep throwing money at this rows and rows of stuff that just belong to somebody else at some point. Of course, there's also the things that, let's just say, get smuggled. And well, in order to train like the dogs and stuff to smell things that are smuggled, well, they get to practice on some of the suitcases and objects that get left behind. So maybe they might hide drugs in some of the suitcases and let the dogs go through and see if they can find it. And if they do, they win a treat. So there's all sorts of different purposes for lost luggage, but the main purpose with this team is the teams around the country is to go, hey, you know what? The airline might have screwed up, or maybe you just forgot something, and well, we're going to try to reunite you somehow. Unlike the post office. That's another story. Anyway, I say check this out. It's only 44 minutes, and it's not like a series of redundant stories or anything else. It pretty much hits all the highlights and gives you an insight as to what goes on, and might give you some good ideas as to how you can prevent your luggage from being lost and what they go through in order to get it back to you. So, yeah. I say give it a shot. I found it really interesting and a little bit funny at times. So, but it's regular people just trying to do their job, and some of them are pretty dang passionate about doing the right thing. So that's kind of neat. So, let's pick tomorrow's episode.
255.
255. Really staying low on this. 255. Oh. Okay. All right. We just had we just had the series accidentally picked a second time a couple days ago. But I don't know if we've seen the shorts from this series. I'll check, and if we have watched them, I'll come back here and we'll pick another one. But in this case, we're going to be watching the webisodes, the series of webisodes, which, depending on how long they are, I might do a few of them. Who knows if I'll do all of them. Again, all depends on how many there are. In this case, it's the Miraculous Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir webisodes. Yeah. So there's a ton of them. I don't need to watch all of them. It's an entertaining show, but hey, you know what? Not going to spoil anything for you. I'll just come back and talk about it tomorrow. The Miraculous Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir webisodes is what we're watching tomorrow on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.